E3 2016. There is a bajillion games to talk about, and we can't possibly go over all of them, and I don't want to go too extensively into most of them because, as usual, E3 is a lot of promises, and most of them never come into fruition. Most of them are just empty completely, and you're just going to get disappointed. A lot of the times, there's also a lot of games that you're looking forward to, and you get nothing about, or you get very little of, and it's just, a bunch of announcements. So I've gone over... I think I've seen most, and the ones that I missed, I read about later on and tried to see all of the news coming out of the main press conferences. All of them have happened at this time, and I got a notepad open with a list of a bunch of stuff that I want to talk about briefly. I missed probably a bajillion more things that are actually really relevant to me, but I don't know. These are the things that I'm kind of looking forward to. That kind of look cool to me. There's probably so many more, and hey, if there's really cool stuff that I missed, let me know. I'd love to know of them. I'm one person, and E3 is huge. So, let's get started with Dishonored 2. It's pretty much more of the same. That's kind of how it looks like, and I'm perfectly happy with that, because I love the original Dishonored. Some people didn't. I loved it. It felt to me like a much better successor to Deus Ex, the original Deus Ex, than the new Deus Ex games. Deus Ex is a big topic, and there's a lot to talk about here, but we're not going to go into it too much. I really like the original Dishonored. I didn't care too much about the story. It wasn't bad. It wasn't memorable. Mostly, I just really enjoyed the gameplay. I thought it was a lot of fun, and the way that I like playing those games is never killing anyone ever. It's like complete super ninja that nobody knows that I was there ever, and I never used anything. No bloodshed, zero bloodshed throughout my entire playthrough. I love that game. I think it's fantastic, and I'm very much looking forward to just more of the same, which it looks like that's what it is. Hopefully they won't screw it up. So that's one. Secondly, we've got the big one that I was really, really, really looking forward to. This is one of the most anticipated things for me. It's For Honor. Because I'm very much looking forward to basically anything that is Dark Souls-ish, especially in terms of combat mechanics and fighting in that kind of way, and multiplayer. So For Honor looks really, really awesome, but we knew very little of it. Now we saw a little bit more of it, and the gameplay that I saw, I still don't understand how it works very well. And from what I do know, from what I do understand, from what I do see, I don't like it as much. I don't know. This is very iffy. The thing is, I have to play it. It's pretty much, I have to find out more about this in order to make judgment, because I have no idea what's going on there. I don't know. It looks very good. Visually, the game looks good, but I don't really care about that. I don't really care about the story. It's cool to hear, though, that there's a single-player campaign. I do enjoy the fact that there's a single-player campaign, and even, 3 times a single-player campaign, because you can play as each one of the factions. I think there's the Knights, the Vikings, and the Ninjas, the Samurai Ninjas. So, that's really cool that there's a single-player campaign. Mostly I'm looking forward to the multiplayer. And we'll see how it goes. I honestly don't know. We have to look at it. On the other side of the spectrum, though, not on the other side of the spectrum, on the same side of the spectrum, what am I talking about? That's not the correct line. Is Mirage Arcane Warfare, which is from the people who made Chivalry, Torn Banner. And Chivalry is ridiculously cool. Is really, really cool. It is first person and not third person, so it's kind of weird. But Mirage, now they're making Mirage Arcane Warfare. And this looks way cooler to me than For Honor. I'm really excited to learn more about this game, and I signed up for the beta, and I really hope I'll get it, and I really hope it'll happen. This might be way cooler than For Honor. For me, it's all sitting on the same spot, sort of, though they're different games. Looks really freaking cool. So, I don't know. We'll see how that works out. There's a ton of games on the PC conference. PC Gamer was hosted by Day 9. I didn't watch most of it. I watched some of it, just really pieces, and also then Ubisoft started. I think it was Ubisoft that started, so I wasn't really paying attention to it, but it looked like a lot of cool stuff, a little smaller projects that were coming up, not super giant AAA. It looks cool. I don't know. I haven't seen anything more specific. If you saw anything that's really, really cool, please let me know. I'd love to hear these things, to see these things. Back to the main conferences. South Park, The Fractured But Whole. Oh my god, it's the best thing ever. It's kind of amazing how when you've got someone who's super corporate and he talks in bombastic words and says how excited he is or she is on stage, you're just like, wow, this is genuine. Yeah, okay. Could you just show me the game? You're kind of lame. But when they come up, Matt Stone and Parker Trey, and Trey Stone, Parker, Matt, and those guys, the guys who made South Park, they're real people. They're real freaking people, and they're awesome. And the game looks ridiculous, and I cannot wait to play it. And the main thing that was bad in Stick of Truth was the gameplay, was the combat, right? I mean, it was a 12-hour-long Star Trek episode, which is all that I ever wanted. And the gameplay was not that amazing. But if they fixed it, and they did work on it, Bethesda are smart people. Bethesda makes it, right? I'm doubting myself. Doesn't matter who makes it. Ubisoft is making it. Looks a little bit better. I don't know still, but they made significant changes to it, and it could be really, really cool. If the gameplay is good, this game could be ridiculously amazing. I'm going to play it anyways, because I just want more of the stupidity and South Parkness, because I love it. But if the gameplay is also good, that would be fantastic. So that looks really good. Tekken 7. I have always been a fan of Tekken because it's a game that if nobody knows anything, Street Fighter, if somebody knows what he's doing, you're all screwed. But Tekken, if nobody knows what they're doing, it's a much more fun game, in my opinion, than Street Fighter. Okay, if everybody has a crap level of knowledge, Tekken is more fun because it's also a little bit more button mashy, but it also is really smart, and I really like it. I don't think it really works on the highest level of gameplay, but I don't care for those because I enjoy just playing Tekken with my friends. And I love Tekken. I played Tekken 3 to Oblivion on my PlayStation 1 that I had a million years ago. And Tekken 5 and 6 I played with friends, and it was always a ton of fun. So now it's Tekken 7. It looks really cool. And originally I thought that was a Tekken X Street Fighter because they said they're still working on Tekken X Street Fighter, which is all Tekken, all Street Fighter, but with the Tekken system. They already put out Street Fighter X Tekken, which is all Street Fighter and all Tekken with the Street Fighter. So... right. But it wasn't. It's just Tekken 7 with Akuma for some reason. So it's pretty cool. I'm looking forward to seeing how that fares out. All the Star Wars games, couldn't care less. I like Star Wars, but I just... the Star Wars games, don't really give a shit. Everything VR... I'm always very skeptical about VR. It's really cool on one end, but on the other end, I don't feel that anybody really, really made it work, and I don't feel that the things that are now there works really well, but I haven't really played around with it too much myself, especially not with the awesome Oculus controllers or Rift controllers. I haven't played with them. I haven't tested them yet, because I don't have them. So... maybe it's really, really cool. I don't know, but I haven't seen a game that I really want to play. I've seen games that are like, oh, this will be a cute gimmick for 15 minutes, and then I'm done with it forever. So I haven't seen games that I really, really want to play forever. We'll see. God of War 4. I always like the God of War series. I like these type of games. I haven't played all of them because I didn't really have PlayStations most of the time, but when I did have access to PlayStations, I did play some of them, and I very much enjoyed it. I don't know if I'll get a PlayStation and be able to play God of War 4, but it looks cool. It's the God of War game and not anything else, which is good. Probably, maybe, I'm not sure. There was no new Crash Bandicoot game. They announced something with Crash Bandicoot, but basically it's just remastering of all the old games, which is fantastic, but I would love a new Crash game. I grew up on Crash Bandicoot. I think it's fun, and I like it, and yes. And then there's a bunch of open world games that look good, but they're open world games. There's nothing super... I mean, there's stuff. You could collect things. The Ubisoft open world games or other Sony, like the Horizon Zero Dawn and stuff. And now Zelda's also an open world game. It looks like a totally standard open world game, though it's Zelda. I mean, it's Zelda. Oh my god, Zelda. Did I say Zelda? Cool. I like Zelda. It's good. I recognize the things that are good about Zelda. I didn't play it as a kid too much, but I know that it's really, really great, and a lot of things that they did was great. I did play a couple of Zelda games, to be clear, but I'm not that much of a heathen. But this new Zelda game, it looks like an open world game. Yeah, it has the Zelda stuff in it, but those are kind of standard at this point, and it looks like an open world game, which is fine. I'm just not a huge fan of open world games, so I don't know. It didn't impress me too much. I'm positive that I will now have a throng of fanboys and fangirls wanting to murder me, but okay. Sorry. Yeah. And last thing is, there's a lot of other games that are like coming out, and we didn't discover new exciting things about them. Just having a little bit more of them, such as Kingdom Hearts 3. Still don't know anything about it, but it seems cool. I want to play it. And Civ 6. I saw a bunch of Civ 6. It looks really cool, and I cannot wait to play that. I'm really excited for Civ 6, and it's coming this year still. So there's a lot of things that are actually coming out this year. Oh, and one more thing that I totally forgot. Oh my god, I didn't put it in here, but I now remembered it. which also looks really, really remarkably cool, is We Happy Few, which basically looks to me like a Bioshocky game, original Bioshocky game. It doesn't matter. The Bioshock games are relatively similar, but the thing is, it looks really good. It looks very interesting. I'm very intrigued by it. I loved the original, just to be, we're all on the same page here. Bioshock Infinite for me is just like whatever, not really a great game. It's okay, but it's kind of boring most of the time. The original Bioshock to me is fantastic masterpiece. I love that game, and the second one is just more of the same. Not amazing, but just more of the same. But I would love to see this game. It looks really, really cool. I'm looking forward to it very much. And I think that's the main things that I got out of the E3 press conferences in the last 3 days. The news in terms of what I wrote down, what stuck in my head, I didn't look at all the things. I read everything as it came out, but now, putting up this notepad, and this is the important part, putting up this notepad are things coming out of my head just now in 3 minutes, which means these are things that stuck in my head, that I actually care about because they stuck in my head for more than 24 hours after reading them originally. So that probably means something, or maybe it doesn't, and I'll forget about all of these. But yeah, that's what we did. That's what I did. And that's E3. There's probably more news coming out in the next couple of days. I don't know if there's anything super noteworthy to talk about, but that's it for me for now. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next time.